The consolidation of silver's price never fully materialized in the Asian market open, and now it's holding on based off of this latest development regarding tariffs. Let's discuss it in this video as we explore. Gold, on the other hand, is having a bit of a consolidation period, a slight pullback, just under 1% right now. As I record this video moments before the markets close, gold is down $28.20, a 0.87% decrease, with silver's price resting at $3,209.80. It could fall below $3,200, but still, this number and anywhere above $3,000 is an amazing performance for gold, no question about it. Silver, as I started to prepare for this video, was in the green. It was up a couple of cents. It is now down just 2 cents right now, a 0.06% decrease to $32.34. There was some pressure last night in the market open in Asia, but nonetheless, we are starting to see it push back here, especially on news regarding tariffs. Now, if you're keeping up, which I'm fully not caught up on everything, I'm hearing different reports about what is going to be exempt and what's not going to be exempt. President Donald Trump announced there will be no exceptions for tariffs on electronics and that he would clarify his administration's policy on Monday. But U.S. Customs and Border Protection announced late Friday that some smartphones, computers, chips, and other electronics would be exempted from tariffs. But Trump's top economic advisors hit the Sunday talk show circuit to explain the policy, saying that tariffs against electronics would be coming in the next month or two. So in other words, there is a reprieve of electronics right now. And any kind of pullback, I think, right now, considering what's going on, I think is going to bode well for you, especially with regards to your purchases. I want to introduce you to Summit Metals, a channel sponsor. They have proven themselves to be a low-cost leader in the precious metals sector. So check them out at summitmetals.com. At least give them a look and to see if they compare for the low prices you're looking for your bullion products. They are also continuing to expand their selection and now accept Zelle for payments. I don't know of any other bullion dealer that has that option. That's pretty nice and convenient. Nonetheless, silver indeed is down a little bit today, and I think a lot of it is a push and pull as to whether or not these electronics would be hit. And of course, it looks like they will be, but it may be a while before they go into effect. It's kind of like the market recovery after the 90-day pause for some of the countries that want to do negotiations on tariffs. And I think in some way, in some aspect of this, there is some strategy here, even though we may not see it because it seems rather chaotic, and it is for the markets, no question about it. And we have to ride this out in terms of what the precious metals are going to do. And notwithstanding, silver is indeed holding its own right now. Now, why would silver's price rise in a moment like this where there's a talk about pausing or maybe even doing away with tariffs on electronics? That means a free flow of commerce could occur, especially with a lot of that stuff coming in from China, which means that most electronics coming from China, that's likely mean that China is getting a break, right? It seems to be the case, unless it's specific to other countries like Japan, Korea, and others that have electronics. But nonetheless, any of those electronic products that come into the United States, well, you know what that means. That means there's going to be more demand, and the demand will not let up for it. And that's good for silver's price, which is now just flatlined as I record this video. It's very volatile. So silver right now is sitting at $32.36, above $32. But as we start to see this stuff start to play out, we're going to start to see a stronger resistance, I think, in this point with silver. In other words, $29, $30 an ounce may be the new support level where, unless barring any major catastrophe, we probably won't see it fall below that. Now remember the downturn in the market once the tariffs were announced and put into effect on April the 2nd. We saw the market tumble like crazy, and silver was not immune from it, falling below $28 an ounce. Of course, it wasn't that long ago when I said, hey, $28 silver, here we come, it's going to get there. We're finally there, and we've surpassed it. Now back up $32 an ounce again. I think this is a good news for silver in terms of its price support, and seeing that where this level is and how this is going to play out, it's really showing itself to be a hedge against inflation, against economic instability. And I think now with this price and new support level, we can make that claim all the more. However, it really does depend more and more on the individual and how you buy it. Because even at this level, you can lose out big time on silver if you buy the wrong way and if you sell the wrong way. There was a point in time where I used to think, well, you know what, there's really no wrong way to buy and sell silver. But there are ways to lose big time doing both of those. I've learned that throughout my years in this community, and also just paying attention to the markets. And really, it is up to the individuals with these types of items, gold and silver, that can be both commodities and precious metals. And that is the case with silver, even though it is more seen by the markets as a precious or as a commodity than a precious metal. This is why the gold to silver ratio is trading right around 100, although today, right now, it is trading below 100. It is at 99.44. Still a very high ratio, and many people are frustrated by that, as silver now ticks up 2 cents right now into the green. But nonetheless, the volatility of the markets, understanding silver, and how you deal with it yourself in terms of buying it and selling it. A lot of the silver that you see on your screen here was purchased long before these big rises in price. And these bars here, these Prey bars by Scottsdale, were bought many years ago when silver prices was trading in the teens, I believe. And so, I've done well on these in terms of preserving wealth, because I've held it for a long time, and I've recognized that, if I bought these these bars at around $10, $12 an ounce, well, that means that more than likely, probably, adjusted for inflation, I'm breaking about even right now with silver trading at $32 an ounce. So it just depends. It depends on how you buy and how long you hold and your strategy for selling. I'm always of the mind that with everything going on in the news today, especially with the volatility, with the geopolitics outside of the tariffs, and rumors of war, especially now with Iran sewing up again. Who knows what's going to happen, or some strikes on Iran. One thing is for sure, this is a losing proposition any way you look at it, including by the targets by the Federal Reserve itself, which issues these notes through the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. These notes, by design, lose a value of 2% each year. That is still inflation, even though we don't chalk it up as such, because of the chefs at the Cook the Books Club want to keep it on the record, and they want to be able to define and redefine terms as such. But nonetheless, we know that inflation is still here at 2.4%, based off the official numbers, but of course we know it's higher than that when you take into account how we used to measure inflation. But silver, indeed, does fluctuate in price, and there are times where it may seem to be a losing proposition, and it can be for you if you do it the wrong way. But if you do it the right way, and it's really simple, by dollar cost averaging and enhancing it by buying a little bit more when there's a pretty big drop, or a little bit less, or not at all when the price goes up, you will be okay. You will preserve your wealth. You will see it as a store of value. That store of value means it's not going to zero, and time will be on your side as that store of value. Time is on your side in that regard. So nonetheless, there it is, and so we'll see how this all plays out, but the precious metals are reacting accordingly, and I think in a sense, gold is consolidating, some profit taking happening there, something that we expected at some point in time or another, but in a sense, since it has only fallen less than 1% today, it's really marginal loss for gold, and silver is kind of trying to hang on here. Another reason why silver really today is trading as a commodity as opposed to gold is because we see what platinum and palladium are doing, and of course other commodities as well we have to take a look at and see how they are performing compared to silver. That gives us an idea how it can move back and forth with that regard. Copper is up slightly, nickel is up slightly, aluminum is up slightly, and so is lead. All of these play a role in that. And so is crude oil is also up over $61 a barrel. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up. So is the NASDAQ. But the dollar index is down slightly, 0.19%, down 99.72. And that is also weighing a little bit on silver. Gold doesn't seem to care because it's being kind of sold off for profits and consolidation, which means that some people that have felt that gold was overvalued, well, there you go. There's a little bit of evidence of that today in the trade with gold. Silver fluctuating right around flat. Right now it's down 1 cent. It was up 2 cents mere moments ago. We're literally minutes away from the market closing right now. So it'll be very fascinating to see how this plays out. But there you have it. There's your market report. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.